अभी ढूंढ लेगा ये देख. ओ ठीक है मेरा नहीं ढूंढना नसीब अच्छा. चलो. All right, we all are live. All right, we are live. Hello everyone, good evening and a warm welcome to all at MESC Red Devils NCR. This is Delvin. Today I have Paritosh Bhai, Abhijit Bhai and Saksham Bhai with me on the stream. Hello everyone, good evening gentlemen. Uh, Perfect response, perfect game, perfect result, and we all but have our progress sealed and rubber stamped into the next stage of the Europa League. Saksham, I'll start with you. Yesterday's game was much needed in terms of the statement which had to be put out by the team, both in terms of performance as well as the unity of the squad, which was put into the test after all the different criticisms, all the different suggestions of not being able to work under a particular captain, not being able to get their communication levels right. So this game, in that sense, was an opportunity to set the slate right, get the sheet clean once again, and begin with a blank space. And that is exactly what happened. So, what were your thoughts on the game, and how important it was to make sure that we got this result because the fixtures just keep on coming at this point. So, how important was that result from that perspective?
Yeah, so for the Liverpool game, it we got beaten 7-0. Like after that, it's not the end of the road. Like we have been on a great journey under Ten Hag, and we are a very good side that plays good football. Even I was looking at a stat that in all competitions across Europe, we are the team with the most number of wins. That is 31 wins in all competitions. So that Liverpool game was a bad game, but it was not like they stopped us and something like that. And that needs to be on the mentality of the players as well. So Ten Hag has dealt it with well. It was a statement win, a 4-1, a good score win, a comfortable home leg win. I think we would be comfortable in the away leg. I don't see Real Betis coming back from this score. I think we will qualify for the result. And also the result, like the intensity of the players, like the hunger for Rashford, like Wout Weghorst, absolutely when getting his first goal, crying after that shows the passion and the intensity. They were gelling up well. And one very good thing that I noticed that Ten Hag didn't change his starting 11 from the Liverpool game. It's not like that. Yeah, okay, you are out of the team. I'm playing you. He trusts those players. I think it's his best 11 right now, and he played them from the Liverpool game. That you need to pick your head again, and let's go again. Because okay, this was one game. Like you are not allowed to lose 7-0 at Anfield, but that was not end of the road. That is just 3 points. Like if I'm Ten Hag, I look at it as 3 points lost. But from the next game onwards, keep winning. We are on a tremendous form. We are on a tremendous mentality. Don't lose yourself right now. It's the time to go forward and carry this momentum. And yeah, it was a good 4-1 win. It's a very, very good score according to me. And absolutely love the intensity, the changes. Bruno Fernandes scoring, Rashford scoring. All these players were criticized. Bruno was criticized. Anthony was criticized, and even David De Gea was criticized so much. But today he won the save of the match. Even kudos to Rashford and Ten Hag as well to won the player of the month and the manager of the month. So this team is performing good. That was one game. Yeah, it was 7-0, but that is not the end of the road. We have to pick ourselves up. We are favorites to win the Europa League. I think we will get top four. I'm not hoping for the title, and we are good in the FA Cup as well. So it was a great win, and I believe like Ten Hag did a great job. And on to the next game.
Yeah, exactly. On to the next game it is. Paritosh Bhai, yesterday in the stream we did speak about, if the side was the same, which it was. And we wanted players to play in their natural positions. And that is exactly what happened. Each player started in the position which was home for them, basically, with Rashford starting on the left, Bruno playing through the center, and Vegas playing through the nine. And it was very evident in that matter that each player was very comfortable in their surroundings. Like there was no point of discomfort, there was no unwillingness or whatever that was, and that gradually transpired into the performance of the side. We looked much more of a unit. We looked much more of a very well oiled and a cohesive unit also. So perfect start. 5 minutes in, we got the goal. It started off with a very very poor pass from Bruno actually, but then the ricochet was very kind to Rashford, and from there on there was only one outcome in the box. Just smashed the living daylights out of the ball, and just like that we were 1-0. So how important was it to get that opening goal within the first 10 minutes? Not only in the terms of helping us get settled into the rhythm, but also making sure that we are very confident going forward after that phase as well.
Yeah, I think we talked about this on the stream. That what approach do you want the players? I think you asked me, Delvin, that what is the approach that you want the players to come forward with, and I was of the opinion that we should attack them from the get-go, and this is exactly what Eric Ten Hag did. I was hopeful that this will be the approach because this is the best way to get the cobwebs off. This is the best way to get your mind off the 7-0 defeat at Anfield. That you start attacking from the get go, get a goal as soon as possible. That is exactly what we did. We got the goal, although in the last few minutes of the first half, we were a little bit. Uh, we showed a little restraint. We weren't able to play at our offensive best, and that was exactly the reason why we conceded. Because although it was a shock goal. Betis weren't really expecting to score from that particular position, but it was a good goal. And this is what happens when you remove your pedal from the metal. Exactly what happened. But we came out in the second half with the right mindset, with the right attitude. We looked for the goal, especially from the start of the second half, and we were able to get three of them in the second half. So I'm quite happy with the performance. Nobody's prediction was right, but I think everybody was happy with that. Some things were right. I expected Anthony and Rashford to score. They scored. You wanted Vegas to score. He scored at Old Trafford, and Bruno scored a header. So all things considered, it was a good game, a good reaction to the Liverpool loss. I was of the opinion. I think everybody was of the opinion that this is exactly what we needed. The side to show that the Liverpool game was a one-off, and we are back on track. And I think that will be the case for the rest of the season. It was just a blip in the long journey, and that'll what will remain. It will not be something that will change our season. That will, as to most other fans, as to the opposition fans, the start of the downfall. It'll not be that. It will be just one-off result when we look back on the season, and that is that.
Yeah, absolutely. With good start, but then Abhijit Bhai, once again, the problem that has been plaguing us throughout the course of the season once again reared its ugly head in the worst way possible, and that is once again our inability to take our chances. In the first half itself, we had what 4 to 5 gilt-edged chances to make sure that the lead was doubled or even tripled in that matter. And then we see in the second half also that Anthony had two golden chances. Weghorst had a couple. Like I think it was safe to say that had we taken those chances, it would have basically been all
Delvin,
but confirmed.
one thing I want to say that, and I'll want the panel to also speak on this. There have been multiple instances where our players are found in offside positions, and I think this is a big problem considering we are gunning for titles because there are many important chances which happen, but just because the players are offside, and especially 2 3 players. I think Casemiro is regularly found in an offside position. I think Rashford many a times is not able to time his run because these are small things that can be changed. I think the panel has to have their say, but this is what I think that
Paritosh,
this is something that can be
Paritosh
changed.
by yesterday's team was, they have a trait that they make offset traps.
Yeah, yeah.
So they
But
had
yeah,
a
Abhijit
they
Bhai did say it yesterday that Betis are very adept at playing the offside trap. So
so,
so that's explainable for the Betis game. As far as the course of the season is concerned, I think Rashford has drastically reduced his propensity to make those very early runs which find him offside, which is something that he used to do very often last year. Last season, he was almost offside on a very regular basis. He used to be found offside every single game, and not even once. He used to be found at least 4 to 5 times on an average. But this year, that propensity is reduced, and he is not offside that much. I think even Casemiro was found offside. I think I found him. I think only for the
Weghorst.
Liverpool goal. I think only for the Liverpool goal he was offside. I did not really find him offside.
And even Vegost is becoming
Weghorst
an
was
offside
offside. Weghorst was
because
offside a
he's
couple of times. Yeah,
yes,
Against
it's because
Betis,
he's
he scored
desperate
a
now.
goal which was in offside position, right?
the Anfield goal. Yeah, yeah.
No, against Betis as well, he was offside in one assist or a goal. I don't know which something happened. I don't know what, but something
No,
happened in the.
it was not Casemiro who was
I think
offside.
Fred, or it was
It
Fred.
was
I think.
Fred. It was Fred who was offside. Yeah. So, coming to the inability to take our chances, Abhijit bhai, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, Betis almost made us pay because of our inability, but any other team, and then again Liverpool also made us pay for that because of our inability to take our chances in the first half. Do you think that this is something that we have to make sure that we're capitalizing on our chances? Because if you see the quality of chances that are there, they were harder to miss than harder to score exactly. Anthony could have squared it off two times basically. Had he made the correct decision, then Vegas should have put at least one of those chances in the back of the net. And yeah, there were like many other chances which we could talk about. So, what are your thoughts on these chances that we
See,
generate which are not able to be capitalized on?
if you see in a perspective that if you look the full season of Manchester United, player Manchester United is not carrying out the momentum what we want. Once we score the goal, we actually literally come into players think we are in a comfortable position. Instead of carrying the momentum up front, we actually take park the bus, just like what Jose Mourinho says that he we score the goals and we park the bus. It's that mentality. So it actually little costing us, and also about what the chances I think it is because of we don't have a proper nine. I really emphasize on this that because of number nine, we are missing those chances. We are not killing the games. Every winger, every even the midfielders are giving the passes, but we don't have that players who can kill the game. And lack of that player, we actually not taking up those opportunities. And even if you look at the uh, last game, even the Betis game, you know Vegas had two great chances, and he literally as a striker you are supposed to score the goals. It was not any rocket science to think about that we or any extraordinary skill you required to score the goal. It's just a tap in, or you just you have to be in a position to score the goal. But looking at that, it really hampers you in a way that um, we could have been in a more extra good position where we can uh, add much more goals, and we could be have rotated the players and could have given more minutes to all the prospects what we have. Even if we look at Anthony, if yesterday's game, if you see, only two players who were opportunity to score the goals, and it was Rashford and Anthony. But both were on par. Okay, Rashford after first goal, he was not at that at the level where he was expected, but he was lively. Anthony, he has to be a very very smart. He has to take that composure. Because if you look at the when he missed one on one against their Bravo, there were literally three players alongside. Even he could cross the goal, and it could be a goal, but he didn't look that. It okay. We can say it as selfish, but we can't also these are the position where you have to be aware of what others are. You have to scan the all the players who are there in front of you, and you could have scored the goal. So there is need to be a smartness, there is need to be composure. You know uh, we we have to capitalize these opportunities, because once once we capitalize on this trade, then we can carry the momentum forward, and we can kill the game.
Yeah, it's perfectly acceptable. Means your explanation is spot on. Need to get more active in front of goal. Need to be more accurate. Need to be more intelligent in front of goal. Section by coming to Real Betis' equalizer. While the finish was very good, the point still remains: was that handball or no? Because it seemed that there was clear contact on the hand, and it looked very obvious. I mean, at if and VAR didn't even bother to intervene. At this point, he might as well have picked up the ball and just thrown it to Jose Perez. That would have been less obvious. There was clear handball. What was your thought on that instance?
Yeah,
Was it handball for
yeah,
you, or
yeah. So, like for me, I think the hand was involved for controlling the ball. Like, I think if it's involved, it's a handball. It's simple as that. Like to control the ball, it was a handball, but like we consider a bad goal. Like that pass was great over the top, but yeah, that build up started like he controlled the ball with his hands. So it's a handball, and I think that should have been disallowed. And like from the that was the equalizer, that 1-1 we got into halftime. That was the score 1-1. So that affects us mentally, and this type of decisions are happening too often, especially with Manchester United, as we know that when it comes to decisions, we are not the great favorites. So yeah, I think it's a handball, and but that pass was great. So they scored like I'm glad that we scored 2 goals. Like it's not mattering that much right now, but like if the score was 2-1 or 1-1. That would have been like great point to consider. Like no one cares about that goal right now. Like a clean shoot would be obviously a nice, but I think that's a handball and that should have been disallowed. Yeah.
Avijit bhai, let's talk about the other important. No, sorry, Parthosh bhai. Parthosh bhai, let's talk about the other important talking point of this game that was in the first half, and that was David De Gea. I mean, over the course of the season, he's shown improvement in a lot of areas where he was previously found lacking. His ability to play from the back, his ability to command his box, claim those balls, and do a little bit of sweeping also. While he's displayed those attributes to some extent, yesterday was the most ugliest that he's performed in a very long time. His distribution was absolutely horrendous, and we were absolutely fortunate and lucky that his passes, which found the betters players, weren't punished by them. We were very close to being 2-1 down with the second time that he gave the ball very carelessly. All in all, it was a night to forget for him. Thankfully, the result went in our way, so that incidents or the incidents that were caused by him went in the back burner. But surely this cannot be tolerated in another crunch game, because those mistakes that he has done, if it was any other team, that would have been the difference between a win and a loss.
Yeah, I have been an avid supporter of David De Gea for a long while, and I do believe that he has the ability to change. But I just have this fear that I think it's too late for him to acclimatize to the modern game. He has played too much of his football in the past few years under different circumstances, which has changed his game to just being a short stopper, just being able to play with a defensive lineup which is not capable, and thus uh, he's not he's not quite up to the mark when it comes to the modern game, building from the back, distributing the balls. We saw it in the last game. I was quite frustrated with certain distribution of his, and I think although he raised his hands up, apologizing to the players, apologizing to his uh, fellow teammates that he's sorry for displacing the passes, for not picking the right man at the right time. But this can't continue. If a team like Man City is against you, they'll punish you every time. We have seen this time and again. Even when we lost 6-3 at Etihad, many of the chances that occurred were due to our inability to find the players when we are building from the back. Uh, and mind you, this is the same player when I think Januzaj and Rooney were playing for United. He was able to put long balls directly 40, 50, 60-yard passes directly onto the path of Rooney and Januzaj, because these three, four were the players that were doing anything good at that time. And but David De Gea is not the same player. Hopefully for him, he's able to change. I'm still hopeful. I want a club legend like him to do good, but if I'm being rational and I'm being quite decisive, which I think Eric Ten Hag would be, he'll need another player to challenge David De Gea's top spot. It could be Raya from Brentford, because he's not renewing his contract. United are following his movement, and he's a good player to push David De Gea more. If he's not able to fit in the role that Eric Ten Hag wants, we might have to say goodbye to him. Although he's a brilliant shot stopper, but the modern game requires more than that, sadly.
Or we can get Dean Henderson back. Just about.
He is a
Absolutely not.
shit player.
No,
He's a shit
absolutely
player.
not.
I
No,
wanted
no,
him
no.
to I wanted him to do good, but the arrogance that he showed
Yeah.
just before Eric Ten Hag arrived, I
Attitude.
have no faith in him, and especially after his performances in his loan move right now. He's not able to. If you can talk so much shit, you should be able to back it up. And
He's
he's not been
currently
able to.
injured also.
He's currently injured as well, and he's not been able to back it up even when he has to.
Precisely. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't have faith in him, and I don't want him anywhere near the first team or even the reserve.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Abhijit bhai, then second half, the introduction of a certain Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Yes, I'm going to absolutely flex on my guy, and there's no one who's going to stop me. It's very interesting to see that the games that we have lost have not seen Aaron Wan-Bissaka play any part in that. Says a lot about how Aaron Wan-Bissaka has grown from strength to strength in his time away from the club. Last night also he was bought in for Dalot. He was bought in for Dalot, who was having a very ineffective game up until the end of the first half. But Wan-Bissaka has, I mean, the confidence in Wan-Bissaka at this point is so high that the guy literally bombs forward, and I think he went inside the box 3 to 4 times in the 45 minutes that he played, which is too much. And he put in a very inviting ball, a cutback, but no one, all of them were so deep inside the box where no one was able to anticipate that ball in. So very impressive 45 minutes from him once again. I don't know what is the reason that Wan-Bissaka is getting benched. I don't know, Ten Hag maybe sees something in Dalot currently that he doesn't see in Wan-Bissaka. But
Offensive
yeah, but I think yesterday that was better from Wan-Bissaka also if you compare the 45.
momentarily right. Momentarily, at the moment, he has been able to perform better and he has been able to give more output. But when you consider as a player, even I think in the training sessions, Delo is more comfortable on the ball. If we are going forward, Delo would be able to put in more accurate crosses. Delo would be able to have more confidence on the ball. Although Aaron Wan-Bissaka has improved massively, the only thing stopping Aaron Wan-Bissaka from replacing Delo is the offensive output of Delo and his confidence on the ball. Although Aaron Wan-Bissaka has improved, it's just that Delo is elite going forward. He's, I think, one of the best when he's on his top form.
Yeah.
But he has improved in his offensive too.
Yeah,
Sorry
I
to
think
take by, but
you could, he's improved very much. I
improved, yes,
think
very much.
there have been various instances where you would not see Aaron Wan-Bissaka of the previous seasons go this forward, and the confidence that he's showing with the ball at his feet also is no longer putting those sideways passes, going for the easier option or anything like that. He's looking for the riskier options. He's not afraid to make a mistake and then come back and fall back also. This, which was something that he never used to do before also. Yeah, Paritosh, I'm talking to you only in retrospect also.
So I am just saying, like if we move everything aside, them not being mentioned players, them not being Aaron Bissaka and Delo, if you see them side by side with the ball on their feet, moving forward, just the natural movement of Delo, you can see is way better than Aaron Bissaka. Aaron Bissaka is a good player. He has improved massively. I'm not denying that. I'm absolutely not denying that. And if he continues in the same way, maybe he'll be able to replace Delo because Delo is not doing any better. But I think because the capability which Delo had shown earlier, Delo has not been the same since the World Cup. If we look at the performances before the World Cup, that is what Delo is capable of. Okay, so my whole point is that the Delo at his best and Aaron Bissaka right now we can consider this is the best that Aaron Bissaka has been for United and what we have seen from him defensively as well as offensively. Am I right, Delvin?
Yeah, precisely. It's his best run of form in United.
Best. And Delo's ceiling is higher, offensively at least. And for the modern fullback, uh, sadly, the defensive work rate matters lesser. The offensive work rate matters more, in especially in systems where the press is more required from the wing backs. They are
What I've noticed is Aaron is also becoming much more press resistant also,
I am
which is
not denying
something,
that he might not
which is
do it.
no,
I'm
no,
not denying
which is something Dalot is struggling with currently. Yesterday, if you see yesterday's first half, if you see, Betis
think
are not Betis are not exactly the most ferocious pressers of the ball. Even in La Liga, also they are not exactly known for their pressing. They are very lackadaisical and very laissez-faire when it comes to pressing. But the formation that they played yesterday, I think in spite of not having enough pressure on, they managed to coax out mistakes from Dalo, which is very uncharacteristic of someone like Dalo, who's normally very assured with the ball at his feet. This is something that you would see Van Bissaka give away the ball very easily the last season. Same situation, three players coming in, in going for the easier option, he'll just give away the ball. But if you see yesterday's performance of his in the second half, he's managed to wriggle himself out of those situations very easily also. So this is a very good sign for him. The fact that he's becoming much more press resistant.
Uh, I am in full confidence that Aaron Bissaka at the moment is better than Delo. And Amar Padi said that Delo can be bullied defensively, whereas AWB gives confidence to the whole team through his tackles. He had also said that just now that this debate is of the past, that Delo is better than Bissaka offensively. AWB has improved his game a lot. I am not denying that AWB has improved his game a lot. I was just answering Delvin when Delvin asked that why is Aaron Misaka not preferred to start the game over Delo. I was just saying that I was trying to give you the reason which Eric Ten Hag is seeing in Delo starting the game. I am saying in training and in general, the natural confidence on the wall, you have faith more in Delo. Right now, Aaron Bissaka is better, which is being shown week in, week out. And if this continues for the next few games, Aaron Bissaka is sure shot a starter. He'll get a game or two in the next or the next game. I am pretty sure about that because Delo is not improving. Once Delo improves, then things change a lot because the natural ability of a player is something you can't really change. The natural ability of Aaron Bissaka to put in the tackles, nobody can take it away from him. And for the same reason, the natural ability of Dalot to go ahead and put in the right crosses at the right time, to put a shot at the right time, because that is better naturally in Dalot. I think everybody is in agreement for that. So I hope that Aaron Bissaka continues this improvement. But I just feel that what Eric Ten Hag is seeing is that Delo has a higher ceiling. That is what my reasoning is behind him not giving Aaron Bissaka the right amount of starting game time.
It's going to be a very interesting summer, if we go to see what the situation of the right backs will be. Because here are two right backs just about there and thereabouts entering their prime. I don't think either of them will be a very happy customer to be sitting on the bench at this point
Nobody
in
will
their
want
careers.
Nobody will want to play second fiddle to the other one.
Precisely. And
And
both very proud. Both very
exactly.
proud.
We are
Yeah.
Guys, sorry to interrupt, and we are linked to I think Frimpong as well. For the
Jeremy
summer.
Frimpong. Jeremy
Yeah,
Frimpong, yeah. Jeremy
yeah.
Frimpong. So very, very interesting solution. Very, very interesting situation going to be developing in the summer because these are two fullbacks who not many expected to play the way they have been playing throughout the course of this season. Neither Dalo was expected to make such a huge leap, let alone Aaron Van Bissaka. I mean, in spite of me being a very avid supporter, I had all but given hope that Aaron was going to start any sort of game this season, and would be sold in January. This is what I felt in spite of, but I never doubted him. I always thought that somewhere down the line he could make a comeback and prove the critics wrong. And trust me, that is exactly what he's been doing throughout the course of this season. I mean, for someone who was told that he's not going to make any sort of improvement, he's very rigid, unwilling to change this, that. A lot of things spoken about Aaron, but my word, the improvement that he's shown is absolutely phenomenal, and that makes me want to root for the player even more. Like I've always been a massive fan of him ever since he's come to United, and I've seen him play for I had seen him play a few games for Crystal Palace also. Always loved the guy, and like just makes me feel very happy to see him perform. Man, he's just one of those guys. Like he's not your typical keyboard warrior. Doesn't is not very flashy. Very matured head on his shoulders also, something which wants to make you root for the kind of player. So yeah, I'm very happy with the way Aaron's performing, and I hope that wins at least another trophy with us. That's something that I would love for him to yeah.
I want him in the side, and I was earlier. If anybody is mistaken, I'm not Team Delo or Team Aaron Bissaka. I'm not wanting him out.
Yeah,
Uh,
same here. Same here. If just in case anyone thinks that I
if
want
anybody,
Dalo out. No.
uh, so if because there was this argument that this debate is of the past that Delo is better offensively than Bisaka and everything. Uh, this is us trying to reason between two great players. They are both good players. No, but none of them is bad because Delo. If Maldini says you are a good player, Delo is. If Maldini says Delo is a good player, good defender, then he is a good defender. Maldini won't put his stamp on an average player. Okay, and we have seen what Aaron Misaka can do with his tackles, with his spider-like abilities, so as to say. So both of them are good. It's just that the requirement of the modern game, if Delo is at his best, he's quite naturally more uh, the fullback that Eric Ten Hag would want. It's just that in the past 2 3 months, especially after the World Cup, what we've seen from Bisaka is that he is a very good right back who is willing to change according to the system. He wants to play football, and uh, for uh, for good or bad, if he is not given the right game time, he'll leave because he wants to play consistently in the side. Although he's fighting this season, he'll not fight another season and a season after that. He, maximum he'll stay for 6 months more. Then he'll want an out. He'll be like, I have done my best. If he's in this form and he's not given game time regularly, because Delo would also improve. Delo would not stay like this. I don't think Delo would stay like this for long. Okay. So then things occur that you have to pick and choose. And I think Eric Ten Hag would want Delo, sadly, when Visaka will have to leave.
If that happens, and if we have to do a stream, then you'll
Uh,
know why you know
honestly,
why I'll be crying. You know why I'll be crying then. So yeah,
honestly, and to heart, I want to ask the panel this: do you not think this will happen? Do you not think if both are at
it,
their best, that
it's going to be
Eric
one
Ten
or
Hag
the
would want
other. Sadly, even I believe it's
Tell me,
going to be
be
Aaron who
sure.
will be showing the door. Yeah, I believe that it's going to be Aaron. I genuinely believe it's going to
Saksham,
be Aaron for some reason. Yeah.
Saksham,
Yeah,
who do you think would stay at their best, Delo or Bisaka?
I think Dallo
Eric Ten Hag.
because sorry.
Yeah, good. Think as if
Yeah,
Eric Ten Hag is choosing.
I think if Eric Ten Hag is choosing, if he gets Frimpong in, and I think Dallet would be there. I think under Ten Hag, Dallet has played very good football, and like at his loan spell at AC Milan as well, he was good going forward. Like the thing with Aaron is like Dallet was never that bad in form. Like he was an average player, then he picked up his form, then he is again an average player. With Bisaka, he sometimes may be good, sometimes maybe shit. So that
Yeah.
is the thing with Aaron Van Bissaka. Like,
My man's quoting Gattuso, another AC Milan player.
yeah,
Sometimes
so
maybe good,
with
sometimes maybe shit.
the, sometimes maybe shit. So with Bissaka, that is the problem. Like when he goes down so badly, man. Like he can't defend. He doesn't mark the spaces. He misses his man. He like in 5 games he shows one world class tackle. Then he goes back. He crosses someone to the crowd. So when he goes down, it's difficult for him to come back. Like Dallet is also. I'm not saying he's a world class player, but he doesn't go that bad. Like इतना बुरा नहीं जाता वो कि जितना बिसाका चले जाता है फॉर्म में डाउन सो आई थिंक
The
इफ आई एम
although
टेन
the
हाग आई विल
highs
कीप
are
डेलो
not that high, what you're saying is although the highs are not that high from Delo, but the lows are not that low as well. From Visaka,
या
the lows are very
दैट्स द
low at
पॉइंट या
Okay, Abhijit bhai, what do you think? Delo or Visaka at their best? Who would Eric Ten Hag pick?
See, I would prefer even Dalot, but see,
Ten Hag.
Eric Ten, yes, as a Ten Hag, if you think it, he always want to integrate a player in a multiple position. If Aaron Van Bissaka is free to integrate in another position, then why not we can utilize him in a position. You look at Luke Shaw, he was not he has made him as a left center back. If we can integrate him as a right center back, why not? Because he has the one on he is good in one on position. He has
Do
the
you think
positional awareness.
he
He
has
has
the?
one touch plays, all have been improved. I am defending Delon by for this because he has improved. If you look at the game as a football perspective, you he has improved. Okay, only one trait he has not been very good is that aerial duels. When you the ball is thrown out direct to the wingers, he is not good at that time. He actually uh, stretches up to our boxes. So that is the one only trait that it should be improved. But otherwise, if you see on a one-on touch passes, in the clutch positions, everything, he has been improved. Even in the boxes, he has been, he doesn't shoots. He actually looks up to the pass. So that is what we needed. Dalot is preferred choice. We know he can become, because and Eric Ten Hag prefers to be a right back, to be inverted wing back, or even into the position into the midfield, to to carry out the attack. So on that perspective, Diogo Dalot is very 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 good. But if you look at in a defensive perspective and overall, Aaron Bissaka is also a versatile player. But I want to see what Eric Ten Hag thinks about him, because he has improved a lot much and he gives confidence. Even if you see, we were in 6 months before Devin Bay, we were discussing that Anthony and Diego Dalot were not gelling up for that matter of we were thinking about it. But if you look now, we have been gel up. Every player is gel up with everyone. You see, Luke Shaw, having with Rashford. You see, Casemiro is knows. You see with Sabitzer. See Ericsson, Bruno. He knows what is needed in the midfield. So,
Abhijit bhai, uh,
hmm,
it's not. I don't think it's about the chemistry with the team.
yes,
Yeah,
it is. It
if
is there.
no, just I just
Huh.
wanted to ask about, because you said that he looks up for the pass, he doesn't shoot, and he's not someone who will play the long ball. Maybe, just maybe, consider this. It is because he doesn't have the capacity for that. His natural ability
Could be,
is
but yeah,
more
I
to
don't.
look for the shorter pass. Yeah, and his natural ability, although he has improved, nobody is denying that. He has improved massively, Aaron Bissaka. But it's just that if you look at the crossing of Delo and you look at Aaron Bissaka cross, who do you think, just from the posture, just from the way they hit the ball, is more natural at it? That's what I'm.
Diogo Dalot.
That's all I'm saying.
So
If you look at the capacity of the capacity of the player, when you consider Eric Ten Hag, although it all can be pipped, this is sure shot that if talent doesn't work hard, hard work beats talent. That is a given. If Aaron Bissaka works hard and Dalot doesn't, his natural ability makes no sense. Then Aaron Bissaka will be the pick. But it's just that I don't think Delo is going that much down.
Paritosh bhai, it is also one a situation that every player in the Manchester United squad is improved.
yeah,
It is. It is.
but then there is no debate on other positions because
Uh,
Shaw is more or less sealed that left back spot. No one's
uh,
taking that away from him. And for the
Even if
next two
even if he
seasons,
doesn't, even if he
yeah,
doesn't, he can be the left center back and Malaysia the left back.
yeah,
Even
exactly. So that's not an issue. Again, as far as centre back is concerned, Varane, Licha there. Midfield picks itself up. The forward line also more or less picks itself up. Yes, we need depth, we need additions in other areas, but
striker.
then there is no position which is as complex as our right back situation because we have two players who are still young. Aaron's 25, Dalot's 24, and
hmm.
both are playing something close to their best football this season. And long story short, I believe it's going to be Aaron who will be shown the door if push comes to shove between the two. But then, if on the basis of this season's performance, if he gets us anywhere close to 40-45 million, I consider it as a great investment. I would actually be thankful if they sell Aaron for that. And I'm genuinely optimistic that if he's put on the market, he will fetch a price solely on this season's performance that he's come in the
If the
second
right
half.
side, if the right side picks him, somebody like
If
Hmm.
Newcastle can, because we also want to see which club is capable of paying that much money and who want a player like that,
I
because
don't
not
want him
every
to go to Newcastle. He's not starting there too. He's not starting there. It's
so
Trippier on the
exactly.
right side. He's not
I think
starting there.
the best way for Manchester United to deal with Aaron Bissaka, if he's not able to start every game, and he wants to start every game or every other game, I think the best way is to transfer him overseas. If
Hmm.
if Napoli win, and we are looking at Osman as the striker, we can propose a
Very
swap deal
interesting. Very interesting.
Brighton is also
with
a
which
good
will bring
place.
down the cost of Osman. So that
Yeah,
is something
pretty.
I'd like.
one more thing, like we also have to consider at the right back position that whoever our right back is, how is that right back's chemistry is with Anthony. Like that is very important. Like Anthony
Yeah,
is
at
on the
that
right.
point, I'll agree. I'll agree with the chemistry point. I'd agree with the
Yeah,
chemistry point. Yeah, I would.
And also, I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka would be great for Italian football. So your Italian football would be great for Bissaka because it is right
yeah.
down his alley.
Even
I
even
think,
Haram Ball Madrid would be a good place for him.
but again, the counter-attacking football that Real Madrid play, would Aaron Bissaka? Uh,
Yes, 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 absolutely. Yes,
but
he's managed
these
to
are
put a prime.
but
He's
these are something
Yeah,
I want United to think about. That
yeah. He's
let's not let him let's not uh, gi- give him to another Premier League side who is going to be a contender in the next season. Let's get him overseas. That's what I
aren't
want.
many Premier League sides who would take him also because of the sheer fact that their right back situations are more or less sorted also in that regard.
Brighton
Yeah,
is a favorable
not
place, I
a
would say.
yeah, but not a Premier League contender. No, I'm talking about the
Huh,
big six. Money
huh.
also is an issue for Brighton. They'd not pay that much money. They've bought
Definitely.
Estupinian for 4.5 million, and look at how he's performing. That's how they go. That's how they go about their
Brighton
business.
Brighton system is very different. They are a
They
great club, and Brighton is the reason why Potter was this successful.
they
Not
spam
the other way around.
South American wonder kids out of fucking nowhere. They just literally spam them randomly and they just get them. Like I never heard of
Great scouting.
I never heard of McAllister. I never heard of Estupinian. I fucking never heard of this guy also. Steven Alzate who used to play for them. I think he still plays for them. He's on loan currently. He's also a very good player for them. So yeah. So let's shift our gaze from this topic. We've gone a lot on this. Another great sign was Bruno's performance overall. A lot of talk about Bruno not being the ideal leader, with his body language being this, body language being that. I In all that, I do consider that he was a very lucky boy for escaping any punishment, because of the sheer fact that he shoved the linesman. I said this in one of my individual videos also, that it's a cardinal sin for anyone to touch a referee or a linesman, and Bruno Fernandes went out and crossed that line. So I find very lucky that he escaped any sort of action. But what a way to bounce back! He was everywhere on the pitch, led from the front at his preferred number 10 position, dictated the play, was there to do the dirty work also, and capped off a wonderful performance with a very beautifully placed header also. So, Sakshamba, what was your thoughts on Bruno's performance?
Yeah, so like Bruno had a great performance. Like when he operates in that number 10 position, I think he plays really well. And let's not forget that for me, let's just look at Bruno Fernandes' numbers, man. How many goals he scored and how many assists he have done in his period at Manchester United. So he's a great leader, according to me. Like it's better than Maguire, obviously. And if you look at that squad, they're filled with leaders like Casemiro is a leader, Varane is a leader, but I think Bruno is the perfect candidate for captaincy, man. Like he's been here longer. Like if you remember that time when Ole got like that Watford lost 4-1, that after that game Ole was sacked, he was like, no, put it us on us. He to the fans that put it on us, it's on players as well. So he shows great mentality. The amount of work rate Bruno Fernandes has, I mean, wow, man. Like he runs and runs and runs. His pressing is good. Like sometimes he can be a little shady when things don't go according to him. Then he gets irritated, and I think that he needs to be worked upon. Like as a captain, you are not allowed to be irritated because you want to control the mood of the team. Like you need to tell your team as well. Like sometimes he shows a little childness. I would say that like pushing the referee, like. Arguing with the referee longer than it is required. But as a like player, as a sports person, his performance is last year performance was good. He's been a good signing. He's a hit signing for us. I think he's one of the best things that happened to us post Sir Alex Ferguson. So I think he's a great guy. Let's not forget just because of one performance. And he's my captain. That's all I want to say about Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, Paritosh, by same question. However, I'll put it with a different twist. If push comes to shove and there is like some, first of all, I'll definitely want to know what were your thoughts on Bruno's performance. Secondly, if in a change, in a summer of change, there is going to be a lot of changes in the summer when it comes to squad, when it comes to everything that is there in the backdrop. With a big asterisk, provided the takeover does happen. So optimistic on that. We'll talk about that another day as far as the takeover is concerned. But assuming that there is assuming that there is wholesale changes going to happen, who do you think should be the captaincy candidate?
Captaincy candidate.
But the first question would be Bruno's performance.
Bruno,
So you
yeah.
can speak
I
about that first. Yeah.
I had said this in the last stream as well when we were live. When if you remember, somebody
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
questioning
Yeah. To be benched.
Bruno,
Yeah. To be benched. Yes.
somebody was starting his about him starting every other game. He should be benched, this and that. And I was of the opinion that why are you not considering that we are winning most of the games when he's hagging and nagging the referees, when he's providing these numbers, outrageous chances created throughout when he has been a United player. When were these questions? Only when we lose, why do these questions arise? Uh, so I remain confidently on the stand that Bruno is one of the best things to happen to us. You can't tell me another player who works so much off the ball uh, else than Bruno Fernandes in the whole of Europe. Point me out like five players who are better than Bruno off the ball. You won't be able to find five players who are better
Weghorst.
than. Consider his just consider his position as well. Bruno runs up and down the pitch
Yeah.
so much
No. No. I
throughout,
don't think so. Yeah.
and Weghorst works hard. No doubt about that. Weghorst has worked his ass off even when he's not scoring the goals. Okay, no shade on Weghorst, but it's just that Bruno is on another level. Even when he is not getting those assists, and even when he's not getting those uh, goals that he usually did when he arrived earlier. So about that, I think is business as usual for Bruno Fernandes. He is going to perform at top level. There will be games where he's not able to provide the numbers, and then people will question his attitude. And same thing will happen. Another game will come. He'll provide these assists and goals, and the this is back to square one. I think Bruno is a top player, and we need him. We need him at that position. I don't think we have a replacement for Bruno Fernandes as of now. Regarding the captaincy role, I think he's a good captain. Who else would you give the captaincy band to? I don't think there is another player I'd like to be the captain who is always.
Casemiro.
Casemiro is a
Casemiro.
good player, but he's in his first season. He doesn't have that much
So was
longevity.
Maguire. So was Maguire in his first season.
So I don't want Maguire. No, I don't want
No,
Maguire.
I'm saying I'm just giving a parallel saying that
No,
you
Casemiro is a
said
good.
about
No, okay, but two different players. The impact is different. Obviously, Harry Maguire's impact was crucial when he came in, and that's why he was given the captaincy for the United because he's a British player. That also arrives at some point in conversation when we are talking about English clubs. So yeah, I think Bruno is a great pick right now. Casemiro could be another one who is in tandem for the captaincy. I just hope that the Harry Maguire saga ends because I don't think he's in plans for Eric Ten Hag
no.
as
I
of now.
think he's going to be short in the door.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
he's going. I think he's going. So we can see Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro in tandem because we'll have to have someone who can run things in exchange when one of them is not playing because these two can't be playing like 50 odd games because we are going to compete for all the trophies next season as well. So if we are going to compete and if we are planning to go deep into these tournaments, it's like 50-55 games at least. And for 50-55 games, I don't want both of them to start. I want a CDM, a proper CDM to be the case study of Casemiro so we can develop him. I want someone to be able to play the Bruno role as well. I hope that Ahmad or someone arrives, or even if Palestri is able to play the role because he is a creative player who can play the role that Bruno plays. He is also one player who can play in tandem, and when one of these players, Bruno or Casemiro, is not playing, the other one can be the captain, and I don't have a problem with both of them. They are good picks. But I think as of now, because of how much verbal Bruno is, and he is not that physical, I want him because Casemiro, if he gets the captaincy band, he'll be a lot more physical. he'll be a lot more hacking, and I don't want him to collect all these yellow cards and red cards that he usually
Not
does.
exactly a bad thing in retrospect, if you see. Not exactly a bad thing, but yeah, I
But
get the point. I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from.
in
How
Real
about
Madrid,
Varane?
Not a bad choice. Not a bad choice by
Because
any stretch.
he has won everything, so he
Too
has a
silent.
mentality.
Too silent. Too
he's too
silent.
mature.
He
Too
leads by
mature.
example, no doubt
Yeah.
about it. But then
I want someone
Varane
who
is
likes to
uncle.
talk.
Varane is an uncle basically.
He's good.
Very
He's a
calm
good
uncle.
leader at the
Yeah.
back. He's a good leader at the back, and this is especially this is also the reason I don't want David De Gea. I didn't want David De Gea to be captain.
No,
Although
I have
earlier
one
as well,
option. One option,
earlier as well.
yes. Nah, not captain for me also. No.
Because
I
I
was
want someone who is able to talk to players regularly. If Bruno, as
Yeah,
much passion as he has, he's also
Lois never does that.
obsessed with it.
Lois never does that, and he's the only goalkeeper captain in the
Uh,
Premier League, as far as I know.
and that's why you see where Spurs are. You need a strong individual on the team. I think for football, you need a strong individual. You see how Vincent Company led City and where they were. A strong leader does things in football. And although this is a myth, like you can't have a great talker, it's not necessary that the team needs a great talker for the team to succeed. Yes, definitely. It's not necessary, but it adds a different dimension and which helps the team. So I want, if we have a player like that, why not give him the captain? That's my
Precisely.
only.
Yeah. Yeah, Abhijit bhai, you were saying something.
how you consider as Rashford as a captain? What's your
No.
opinion? Will it dip him?
Never.
Poor thing.
He's never put the captain's armband at any age group. So he's
He's
not
not.
groomed as well. Like
He's not the.
you cannot expect him to be a leader just because of the good work that he's done off the field. That is what I believe. Simple as. He's done
He's
great
also
work
a
off the
leader by
field.
example. He's also a leader
Yeah.
by example. He's not someone who is
Yeah.
getting things
No.
together. And we have
Doesn't
seen
talk lot.
we have seen
Yeah.
he gets frustrated. He gets too frustrated in himself. Then he's more internal. We want the captain to be more external and be able to pick the team up. If Rashford gets down, we want someone to pick Rashford up because he is also a very emotional player. He also plays with a lot of
Yeah.
intensity, but he's not
Precisely.
able to change the mood. We want someone who can like pick the players up. Casemiro is a great pick for the same reason because even when he has that mindset, even when we are goal down or two, he'll be able to pick the players up and say, it's no matter, it's nil, we go again, and that is exactly why I
One
want to go.
But
one
I think
very
that, yeah,
yeah,
continue.
yeah. Go on, Sakshan bhai. Go.
Right. Yeah.
I'll wait.
But I think like this shouldn't be a debate. Like I think for most of the season, Bruno is our captain, and I like even if Casemiro comes into the picture, I think for me personally, I think Bruno Fernandes right now is the best
No,
candidate
we're
for the
talking
captaincy.
about next season, Saksham bhai. We're talking like for an
Yeah,
entirely new season. For this season,
yeah.
Bruno should be captain right until the end. There is no question
Yeah,
marks about that. But we're
yeah.
talking about an entirely new slate, new season, where everything is changing. In a constantly changing landscape, it will have to be inevitable that there will be a change as far as captaincy also is concerned. So we are
Yeah,
talking based on that point of view, not whether we want a new captain or no. Because
yeah.
I
But
definitely feel that Ten Hag would want a new captain if he would feel so. That is what I feel.
yeah, like Maguire's captaincy is surely going to be stripped off. But I think for the next season as well, you would sign a new player. You directly can't give him the armband. Don't repeat that mistake again. And for the next season as well, I think Bruno Fernandes is a perfect candidate for captaincy. I think what's the harm? He's a shithouser. He talks to the referees. He picks the players up. Like when he goes on a bad performance, like he picks himself up and he's a good gel to the team. I think he's a good captain. I don't see a problem with Bruno Fernandes.
Unpopular opinion, but I think even Luke Shaw could make a good captain. But then that's my opinion. Unpopular opinion though.
But
Luke
no,
Shaw could make
why?
a good captain.
What
Yes,
Luke Shaw?
Dylan, I
Yeah,
agree
yeah.
with that
I don't
because
think he is the kind of player who would want to lead a team every now and then.
Which
but
is
if
why I
you
said it's unpopular. Which is why I said it's unpopular.
but if you
He'll
look at
want
the
to have a
full
burger
squad,
after a defeat, so I don't think.
I don't mind if he has it if he keeps on playing this way.
But it's
no,
not
Dylan,
feasible for the whole team, na? It's good for Luke Shaw. It is not
no,
feasible for the whole team.
even if you look at Luke Shaw, he's most mature player, I would say. I say that there are some senior players, but he's a more matured player in the pitch in this season.
He's
And
played
if
9
you look
years
at
for the
his,
club also.
yes,
I think after De Gea, he's the longest serving player in the side.
Phil Jones,
We don't count him. What are you
he has
saying?
he is Premier League
Yeah,
medal.
Oh,
but has he played?
don't disrespect the club legend, okay? He is the only
Hmm.
one else than David De Gea with a Premier League medal. Don't you fucking disrespect Phil Jones. He is the GOAT.
Nah,
How
that
dare you? How dare you?
Like I was about to unmute my mic and say, "Give it to Phil Jones," but
Uh,
Abhijit, like,
don't you disrespect Phil the GOAT Jones, okay? Only one
I've
with a
never
Premier League
disrespected
medal.
him.
Does
bhai,
Never
Steven Gerrard have
disrespect.
a winning Premier League medal? I don't think
No,
he does. So,
He
okay, don't
might.
you disrespect.
He
Carragher,
might.
Carragher.
if the
but but color is your Premier League medal.
So speaking about the game now, we more or less have the quarterfinals sealed, unless there is something biblically stupid that happens at Betis. I think we are more or less through to the quarterfinals of the Europa League. Stranger things have happened, I know, but then I think at this point in time we can say that we have 1.5 foot in the door as far as the quarterfinals are concerned. So Abhijit bhai, based on this result, do you think that Ten Hag is going to go to Spain and have a much changed lineup, or do you think that he's going to stick with the same players and make sure that the result is put well beyond doubt, and then give the fringe players a chance?
Uh, I think so. He will make some rotational changes, not much more, but there will be some he will rest some players like Varane. You say Casemiro. I if Sabitzer is available, then definitely Casemiro will rested. Even I see Rashford, resting for that leg. He may come after substitution if there is a tricky situation, but there will be some new chances for a player like Garnacho can start. Even if you prefer Pelestri to start, it is quite a good selection for us because
Yeah. Speaking.
he
Yeah. Correct. Correct.
hmm.
Correct. Go on, Abhijit bhai, go on.
So I don't mind to give chances for some players. Even Kobe Mino, who was showing promising everything in this season. He can even start. But looking at Eric Ten Hag's mindset, he doesn't make more changes to the whole
Yeah.
team,
Precisely.
and he just rotates the players, and he can. But as you said that we are one leg is already in the quarterfinals.
1.5. I'll believe 1.5 still, but then yeah. Saksham bhai and Paritosh bhai, do you think Pelestri deserves a start in the second leg of the Europa League? Deserve. I'm saying, does he deserve a start? I think he's shown enough in his bits and pieces that he's played that he's able to make a difference as and when required. At this age, he's already a full Uruguayan international. He's played a World Cup before making his debut for Man United. People need to understand that, and people always tend to forget that. He's very nimble. He's very direct. He has an exquisite first touch. It's not very easy to dispossess him, as the British defenders found out last night. He managed to go through three Betis defenders and then put in a very beautiful ball in, which led to the Weghorst goal. But however, in all fairness, McTominay also should have buried that. So that he would get an assist. I think for that pass, he did deserve an assist also. So, Saksham bhai, my question to you, and Paritosh bhai, you can add up into it. Does Pelistri warrant a start based on the performances that is given in his limited time that is given for United? Does he warrant a start?
Yeah, like I want him to start because we signed two right wingers, Amad Diallo and Facundo Pelestri together, and like now we have some young talent coming up like Garnacho and all that. And out of all these players, I think we will have a very good player for the future that would be here for years, and he will be a star boy. But I think Pelestri deserves a start for that goal, that Weghorst goal, that run man, that boarding and that run and going through with the ball. Pelestri did well. He's an international, as you said. He has more experience. He has played a World Cup. So I think Pelestri deserves a start in the second leg. It doesn't harm. Like if if he doesn't perform well in the 45 minutes or we see a threat over there, we can sub him off. But I think he have done enough to get a start in these type of games. I think he have played in the FA Cups as well under Ten Hag. I don't
Yeah.
think he started, but he
No,
has
no.
been
He's got limited runs, 15-20 minutes, I guess.
yeah. So that type of things, and one more. I think I think for Pelestri, one more loan spell would help him greatly. But start
A
again
loan,
in the
yeah, a loan spell where he actually plays. He's been sent to
yeah.
places on loan where he's not exactly got the playing time that he deserves.
Yeah. So, like some place where he can play. I prefer to be in the Premier League if I can. If any side prefer to have Pelestri and he can stay in the Premier League on loan. I think that would benefit him. But I think he's a good lad. I think there's a lot to improve, and it's a great talent we have in our hands. And I think Ten Hag will deal it with well. And he has competition around him. Like right, he's a right winger, so Anthony is there. Garnacho is coming up,
Sancho.
like he's on the left wing,
Sancho.
but Sancho is there. And Ahmad is also on loan. So there's competition, and he's a good lad. I think working hard and a loan spell would be great for Pelestri and see exciting lad. Up to you, Paritosh bhai.
Yeah, Paritosh bhai, another question to add, just in case on the off chance that Pelestri does get loaned to a Premier League club, ideally, who would you think would be the ideal landing spot for a player with Pelestri's gifts and talents?
Brighton.
I was going to say the same thing. It was for me. It was either Brighton or Newcastle, but then yeah.
Brighton because Newcastle is going to be a competitor. Brighton, I
But on
don't think.
loan, he still won't be able to play against us, no?
Yes and no, but I don't want a side who is going to challenge for the top four to have a player like Pelistri. I'd
But
rather have
Newcastle,
Brighton. Newcastle will be challenging for the top four consistently, given this money that they have. They are going to be investments for them. I think Brighton are a good side. They are going to try to qualify for Europe, but I don't think their ambition is of top four. I don't think they are ambitious to go for the top four. Obviously, everybody wants to finish the season as high as possible on the table. But I think realistically, with the money coming in, Newcastle would want a top four position and not Brighton. I'd rather him have at Brighton, where he can play football consistently and have a good team around him, develop his talent, and not especially benefit an opposition who can be a challenger to a top four position of ours.
And
Yeah.
what about the
But,
yeah?
but what I think is that he'd not want a loan. He'd want to be a regular player, and I don't think right now United can provide that. I hope that he
That's
understands.
it's a very
I
sad situation. We have some really
because he has
really
been here for
talented
like
players.
because he has been here for a while now. I think 2 seasons he
Two
has
and a
been here.
half years. 2.5 years
So yeah,
coming to 3.
yeah. So I don't think he'll be too pleased with not playing consistently. It's up to Ten Hag, man, because I think it's more to do with manager and how he understands the player and how he's able to communicate his feelings towards the player and tell him that I want you, but I want you to develop more. I don't want you to just. I don't want to expose you as of now. I want you to develop certain aspects of your game, and then
Think he
we'll see.
deserves a start next week? Deserves a
Yes,
start next week? Yeah.
I do think that for what he has shown in the given time that he has been with the team, I think he deserves one start. It's just sad that it's so late in the season that every other game is an important game because FA Cup there'll be a knockout, Europa League it's a knockout game, Premier League we are in a tough position, so we want to win every other game. So every game is a crunch game essentially. So Eric Ten Hag would have to pick and choose where he like Pelistri to have game time, which particular player he wants to be rested. I think Anthony could be taken off, and Sancho and Pelistri could play a crucial role at the right wing if uh, uh, if Eric Ten Hag is interested in that in the next game or two. So we'll have to see how he's used, but I do think that given the performances that he has had, Pelistri deserves a chance, a sure shot start. He deserves it.
Yeah, Abhijit I was saying something.
even if you start in the coming game, that is, I think, with Southampton, if I'm not wrong.
No. Premier League is too soon. We have to win it. We cannot. A draw won't do. We have to
No,
win it.
yes, but you see, you can what
If he
Southampton.
gets if he gets 20 to 25 minutes as a substitute in the Premier League, it's enough time for him, especially at
But
this stage of the season.
but Dylan, you also think that he has a player who has in a less than 30 seconds he has impact on the team, and
So
he
imagine
gives
how
them.
much in a Premier League fixture where the teams are more physical than European competition or European opponents. Even if you in 25 minutes you do have something which makes an impact, you said within 30 seconds. That much time is what Pelestri needs. Say in 25 seconds he makes 25 minutes he makes an impact 4 times, similar time frames, that's 2 minutes. So which means that's more than enough time for him to go ahead and give a great account of himself. And who knows, in the 25 minutes he could go ahead and, I mean, players have scored hat trick in players have scored 5 goals in 9 minutes, players have scored hat tricks in 2.5 minutes. You don't know, like it could be anything. He could have so much output in 25 minutes also. So I think in the Premier League, if he gets anywhere between 20 to 25 minutes when the game is all done and dusted, as far against Southampton, I'm just assuming that by that we have enough power to get the job done against Southampton at Old Trafford. So let's see if as far, but I do believe that he should get a start in the Europa League. So hopefully, I think we are all but set to go in the quarterfinals, because the rest of the sides are pretty dicey in their games. With Arsenal drawing, Juventus just about scraping past Freiburg 1-0. Uh, I think Saint Gillow and Union Berlin also ended 3-3. I think the only clear winners were Roma and Bayer Leverkusen, apart from us, who have a clean sheet also. So yeah, these are the three teams who are so far comfortably in. But let's go ahead and have a look at the next leg and let's see how things pan out. With that being said, Saksham Bhai, Paritosh Bhai, and Abhijit Bhai, thank you so much for being part of the stream. Uh, Thank you to everyone who were in the comment section and speaking about it also. Amit Bhai says that Pelestri should start against Betis and also be on the bench versus Southampton. Yeah, this has been common thinking of what we feel as well. This is something that we would love to have as well. Thank you so much for all of you all in the comment section. Do keep on joining our streams. We want to cross 2,000 followers by the end of this month. So do go ahead and help us reach that milestone by clicking on the like button, clicking on the subscribe button. Also press the bell icon so that you're notified for every video that we put out. We are also active on our social media on Instagram and Twitter. So please go ahead and drop us a follow there too. And every day is match day on our official WhatsApp group. We'd love to have you be a part of our ever growing family. So do join us there as well. With that being said, this is the end of the post-match reaction episode of United Red Devils and MESC Red Devils NCR. We'll see you soon with another episode, hopefully very soon. Till then, do take care of yourselves. Good night, stay safe, stay healthy, and GGME to all.
GGM.